I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Kodash. Double honors unto our apostle elders which rule Great Millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure until the end. Shalom ba. So this is a prophecy coming true. Nationwide anti-Trump protests. All right. As you can see, news article upon news article. All right. Anti-Trump protesters. All right. Nationwide. All right. And even in Colorado, which they had, I've never seen that many people, from what they're showing in the pictures. All right. It's a lot of people. All right. Which is prophesied once again. You got the Apocrypha, which it says in 2 Esdras 15, verse... It says in verse 16, for there shall be sedition, which is speaking bad about their government, among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. It says in verse 18, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and it says the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, which this devil, what follows him is famine, death, and destruction. But it's Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, using this man as a weapon. It says in 2 Esdras 15 and 4, for all the unfaithful Israelites shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. The sword, which is that so-called white man, he's a weapon of mass destruction built against the Israelites. Famine, death, and destruction. But see, his own destruction comes upon him also. It says in verse 10, no, not 10, it is verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. See? Which, once again, the sedition is taking place. All right? So then, also in 2 Esdras 9, and verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High Yahweh spake of those things, prophesying of his son's return, Yahweh Shai, from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, and that's what's happening. We're at the end of the age of the so-called white race, and they're going to lose their right to rule, all right? And their kingdom is going to be destroyed, and we're going to see Lucifer, America, the kingdom of the so-called white race, destroyed in 1 hour. All right, we're in that season. All right, and the end is manifesting right before our eyes. All right, and part of that is these uproars of the people, which eventually the Lord's going to put it in their hearts to go into the politicians, buildings and homes. All right, because there's not going to be no food, and the prices are going to be outrageous, and the laws are going to be stupid. So they're going to freaking go mad, right? And you're going to have war. It says the blood is going to be to the horse's bridle, All right, a lot of people are going to die in these last days. All right. Now, let me see if there was something else, if I remember. Oh, yeah. You have all these people, in uproars now, but before, in 2024, all right, there was a man that set himself on fire outside the uh, Trump's trial, all right? And this guy, he set himself on fire and he had a sign and it was saying that Trump was going to bring a coup. And what stood out to me was he was rich. This man was very rich, and for him to kill himself, set himself on fire, which is pretty much the ultimate act of protest, as they say in the world. But let me see if I can find the signs. Here it is. I found it in BBC News. Man who set himself on fire outside Trump's Manhattan hush money trial dies. All right, so this man, Maxwell Azaralo, holds a sign outside the Manhattan court on Thursday, and this is back in 2024. It says Trump is with Biden, and they're about to fascist coup us. All right, which fascist is their Confederate against us. Coup is to overthrow us. All right, so the leadership is Confederate against the people. All right, and then he set himself on fire. It says the pamphlets were propaganda-based, said Chief Mattery, adding that they were regarding a conspiracy theory. And they like to use that word conspiracy theory to downplay truth. All right, conspire, there's a lot of ways to prove this word. But a good example is if you conspire secretly to have a party, like a birthday party for someone. All right, that's what a conspiracy is. And the elite, they have secret meetings. All right, so it's not a theory, it's a fact that they conspire with secret meetings. It says there was a massive police presence outside the courthouse because of the trial, and officers quickly ran into the park shouting for a fire extinguisher. Mr. Azarello was carried away on a stretcher, his body badly burned. The police said he was taken to the hospital burn center in critical condition, but once again, he died there. But, so, you know what I'm saying? This guy was a rich man. Let's see if I can pull it up. An insider, too. He was all over the, media with pictures of different presidents. So I'm going to show you how Esau lies. Because I was trying to find information to show you that he was rich. But, over time they hide a lot of the information. That when this information first comes out, it's easy to find. But over time they erase it from the internet. But it says here in Hindustan Times, it says, who is Maxwell Azaralo, the, quote, homeless man who self-immolated outside Donald Trump's hush money trial. So right there, they try to say it's a homeless man. See, this man is in a picture with Bill Clinton. All right, he was a connected guy to the Clintons. Let's see. Like he's in a vehicle. No, I don't see much. But it shows you right there, he wasn't just a homeless guy that just set himself on fire, all right? He was connected. All right, here it shows that he has money. It says, or had money. It says, Mark Azzarello sued Clinton Foundation, all right, which was the man that burned himself outside of Trump's trial in 2024. It says in April 2023, Azzarello filed a lawsuit in New York against the Clinton Foundation, a nonprofit founded by former President Bill Clinton, which you seen him in the picture, as well as dozens of other defendants, many of whom are notable figures and entities like billionaire investor Mark Cuban and Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. So he was in that bunch, this man that set himself on fire. All right, and what he was saying was Trump was going to bring a coup on the people, which is happening now in 2025. And now the people are waking up to it. All right, because we're at the very end of this place. The end is manifesting. Shalom to the elect. Wa abba.